Hey guys, Chad Hoover, Kayak Bass Fishing. Welcome back to this video. And look, this is going to be part 2 of a video that was really long, and we talked extensively on it. And then after we were even done talking about it, we kept talking about it. And that means that we didn't really fully cover the topic. And then I actually went back and I looked at the subscriber question, and it was from Joff T. It's G-E-O-F-F, and I think that's Joff.
I think in the South we just call it Jeff.
Jeff?
But it just depends on where you live.
So Jeff, let us know, write it out phonetically in the comment section. I'll get you right from here on out. So what his actual question was, any tips you can give on training yourself to cast with your non-dominant hand? Now, to her credit, she did ask me that question correctly, but I went off on a tangent. I didn't actually give the tip. All I said was do it, okay? So here's the tip. The practice thing is the ticket. And I think that Kristie and I went off on this tangent about the frustration level, and I think that the frustration level is probably due to a lack of preparation, just like anything else. So if you wait till you're on the water and you try to do everything at one time, you're going to be mad frustrated, okay? So this is something that I haven't done effectively with her, and after I read the question, and I said, oh man, when I teach fly fishing lessons, I don't teach the entire cast at one time. I teach the pickup and then lay it down behind you. I teach the pickup and then lay it down behind you. Or I pick it up, and when it lays out behind you, you turn around and you do the pickup again. So those are called casting drills, okay? You get the pickup down where you load the rod correctly. You make sure that the line lays out behind you so you're not picking it up crooked and you're creating crazy energy going in the wrong direction, and you're gonna create tailing loops and all this other stuff. So in conventional fishing casting, it's the same thing. And I think when people practice casting, they practice getting better at what they're already good at. So what you need to do is casting drills, okay? Don't get out there and just cast every kind of way with your left hand. Put a target out there and cast backhand, reel it back in, cast backhand, reel it back in, cast backhand. That compound movement, that repetitive movement is going to build muscle memory. If you cast this way one time and this way one time and this way one time, you're casting a lot with your arm, but you're not casting a lot to get better at casting with your arm. There's a BS saying in the world of improvement called practice makes perfect. That's crap. Perfect practice makes perfect, or proficient practice makes perfect. But if you practice something a whole lot the wrong way, you're just going to get really proficient at doing it bad. So don't believe that practice makes perfect. Believe that proficient practice makes you proficient. And then if you get to the point where you practice it perfectly, you can get better at being perfect. But you're not going to get perfect by just practicing. You have to practice proficiently. So a lot of P's in that. But basically, to answer his question, to get better with casting with your non-dominant hand, flip with your non-dominant hand. And do nothing but flipping for an hour. Then, overhand cast with your non-dominant hand and do nothing but overhand cast. Get yourself a target out there, Start with being good enough to hit the bush in the yard, and then go to the hula hoop, and then go from the hula hoop to the pie plate, and go from the pie plate to the cup. Aim small, miss small. That's kind of one of the sayings in shooting. And so to really answer this question effectively, okay, and this will be part 2 of this discussion, so I'll link up in the description box part 1 of this so you can hear the whole conversation, because it really is a great topic, and I'm glad she brought it up. But I didn't answer the question in the first video, so I had to follow up. Duh. It's not that you just go out there and do it, because that violates my own protocol on bad practice makes you bad. Golf pros make a living because people have gone out there and developed bad habits, and they sit there and help them break them. So practice to get better at one part of that cast, and then add the next compound movement to it, okay? Then add the next thing. And then when you go on the water, apply that practice from each one of those different types of casts with that non-dominant hand, and then go back home and reinforce it. If you weren't good at the backhand cast on the water, go back and practice the backhand cast some more. If you weren't good on it because you changed positions in the kayak, then practice sitting in the kayak in the yard. You can sit on a kayak in the yard. I've actually had people ask me that. Can I sit on it on the ground? Yeah, it's the same amount of G. Gravity presses back, the same hardness. You're good. So sit on it on the ground, practice casting, but practice incrementally. Practice your backhand. Practice your pendulum cast. Practice your overhand. Practice your open hand. Practice all those different things, and then add them together over time. Don't just sit there and just random cast. You get that muscle memory down. That muscle memory is the hardest thing. Okay, that really is what will make you better at that non-dominant hand casting. And I think non-dominant hand casting is probably the weakest link in a lot of people's armor, especially when it comes to tournament fishing. You got to cover a lot of water. You got to cover, you know, put a lot of presentations out there. And yeah, so I think if you practice proficiently, you'll catch more fish, because you'll catch more fish because you're better at putting the lure where it needs to go. So anyway, we're going to start doing that for you, baby. We're going to get you out in the yard and get you to practice some of these repetitive casting drills with your non-dominant hand and with the types of rods and reels that you haven't fished with. And then when you get to the water, you won't be as frustrated when you try to apply them. Deal?
Sure.
Sure? You know what they mean when they say sure, right? It means whatever you say. But I'm not going to disagree with you here, especially on camera. So we'll sort this out later, and I'll give you guys an update.
Well, I mean,
I'll give you guys
we've
an update
said we're
later.
going to practice in the yard a time or two.
Yeah, you know, because unless I'm there, there's a big barrier. Like somebody built a wall where she can't.
He has everything with him. All of my fishing gear, guess where it's at?
In his truck.
Because I'm prepared, and I don't have to run
Away.
the gauntlet.
He's away.
You know, anyway, so.
Anyway.
They're all here now at the new KBF headquarters. You can grab a rod and go anytime you like. You can practice right here. All right, love y'all. See you next time in the next video.
Hey, did you tell them to subscribe?
I mean, they know.
Okay.
All right, so anyway, yeah, subscribe. Join KBF if you haven't done so yet. We love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.